Welcome to That 80s Show, and they call him the man of 1,000 podcasts. He's been on all the podcasts, Dori.
All of them?
Since he arrived back in the country, he is a podcast guest.
Extraordinaire.
Thank you. That's a word. It's not the word I wanted. His name is Young Ryan. He's
Ryan,
slightly older.
Slightly.
Welcome back to That 80s Show, Young Ryan.
Thank you so much, Paulo.
Welcome back
And
to the
Dori.
country.
Welcome.
Paulo's buzzing off 3 cappuccinos right now.
Ryan is buzzing off 3 Cokes. And, you know, since he's been in Ireland, he's really started to enjoy the crack. So,
It's good crack.
Good crack.
It's good crack.
Ryan is a crack connoisseur, loves the crack. Loves the crack in Limerick.
I live for the crack.
He lives literally for the crack.
So hang on, you live in a place called Limerick.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many
I don't-
jokes.
There
don't
was a young
live in
Ryan
the
from
city.
Limerick
Yes.
who had a very small... Okay. So young Ryan is a friend of That 80s Show. He was on the show just before he went to Ireland. He has been there. It's a year now? Just over a year?
No. I've been in Ireland just about, 8-9 months? It's coming up to a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is back for a short holiday, getting a break from storm. You guys having the storm in Ireland? Not as bad as the UK.
No, so we've had recently in the last 2 weeks since I haven't been there, there's been red alerts and
Jeez.
I don't
Well,
know.
there's a red alert on That 80s Show for nostalgia. Ryan, you know, AI, we use AI for our show notes and things like that.
Yes.
And that stupid AI thinks that this is called That 80s Show, thinks that we're Eddie. We're the 2 Eddies.
Oh, that
So you're the third Eddie.
You're the
That
third
Eddie's show.
That 80s Show.
very nice.
And so, I try to go, am I saying it wrong? Should I say That 80s Show? That
80s.
80s Show. So it knows we're not. But it thinks I'm Eddie, Dori's Eddie, and now you're the third Eddie.
There we go.
Ed, and Eddie. You know, we're doing all the things on That 80s Show.
You guys should come to Limerick. They haven't left the 80s. Genuinely.
I love Ireland. I haven't been to Limerick. I've been to other parts of Ireland. It is
every
great.
time I come out of work, I pass a bar called the Charlie Chaplins.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I've never heard a song from the 90s and plus from that place. It's literally just 80s all the time.
Well, Dori, you know, you speak of it. Ryan and I, young Ryan and I met for breakfast.
Yes.
And, I mean, for the full hour and a half we're there, it was modern talking. So it started off
So
where?
hang on. Where did you meet? At your house?
West Strand.
yeah.
West
Strand.
West Strand. I think Ryan says when he walked in, they were playing Last Christmas, or Last Christmas was on the radio.
Yeah. Last Christmas on the radio. They also had Tears for Fears.
Yeah, Tears for Fears, everyone
I don't know,
wants
is
to
that
rule the
80s?
world. Yeah,
That's
It
80s.
is.
Yeah.
Modern talking, the Michael Jackson.
Oh my
there was
gosh, so much
Madonna,
Michael Jackson.
So much. It was,
I heard Rick Astley in the car on the way
Rick,
out.
Oh, we
played
had Rick Astley too.
Rick Astley.
Wow.
So a good day.
A good day all
It's like they
round.
knew Paulo was coming.
Yeah.
They literally had so
That's
many different
probably like
entrance
that every
songs
day.
for you.
They knew I was bringing the crack. And so, listen, Ryan, I'm actually glad you're here for the first story. So it's that time of year. Of course, it's Last Christmas time of year, right? We're all talking about Last Christmas. We love it. That's all I talk about. This time of year is Last Christmas. Andrew Ridgely's been on everything.
I've noticed.
He's on Jimmy Fallon. He defrosts once a year. And then he does all the tours. He's on Jimmy Fallon the other day. On everything. Hosting radio shows, Smooth FM. He's doing all the things.
Right.
But there's a lot of Last Christmas stuff going on. And there's a Netflix special by Sabrina Carpenter. Okay. And it's like, I can't make sense of it. It's like a night with Sabrina. I like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Right,
I like what I've heard.
She was dating an Irish guy.
Yes.
Barry Keoghan.
The idiot who cheated on her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan. You see,
I'm
know now.
I'm learning now. Yeah.
know.
Keoghan.
I'm
Is
very
that how
pr-
you say it?
That's how
Yeah,
you say
but-
it.
Wow.
I-
Okay.
I will show you a name that it's like Q's and V's and whatever. It's pronounced Queven. Okay. But it does look nothing like Queven. Okay, but I was very proud.
Well, it's
that
like
I was able to
Siobhan.
say that. Siobhan,
Something
yeah.
like-
Irish names are literally, they spelt one way and said completely different.
Yeah, like Bono. Bad example.
Well,
Okay.
horrible example.
So there's the Irish connection, and the show's on Netflix, and it's seems like a Christmas variety spectacle show with Sabrina Carpenter, right?
Okay.
And she's got Sabrina Carpenter and friends. Now, of course, what young people in this day can't resist doing is singing 80 songs and singing Last Christmas. So she sings a song with a person called Chappel Roan. Chappel Roan. Do you know this person?
Chappel
Oh
Roan.
my God, how do you
Chappel
not know
Roan.
who that is?
I don't know.
She's the
You have
hottest
a
thing.
teenage daughter. How do
Yeah.
you not know who that is?
I don't know what this is.
Oh my God.
Chappel Roan's
tell me.
like the hottest
Chappel
thing right
Roan.
now. Yeah.
She's a lesbian icon.
A lesbian icon?
Yes.
Really?
Is she an icon
Have you
to
not
lesbians?
listened to her lyrics?
Is she an icon to
Well,
lesbians,
She's
or
a
is she a
lesbian
lesbian who's
and
an
an icon to lesbians.
Okay.
Yes.
Because like Kylie Minogue's like a gay icon, but she's
Yes,
okay.
but yeah.
All right.
No, she is.
Wait, so there's a difference between a gay icon and a lesbian icon?
Yeah.
There's two different...
Well, just to be very specific, she
Okay,
is a
right.
lesbian. All the lesbians love her. I'm sure the gay men love her too.
You know what?
I'm sure they
I do have a list of I've got a top 3 list of my favorite lesbians.
Okay.
But I've been it's a real thing. Billie Eilish is on top, and then there's this other girl, Renee Rapp. She's awesome.
Yes, you've spoken about her before.
Love
to me
Renee
before.
Rapp.
Yes.
But
So now Chappelle
I
Roan can
didn't-
go in there.
She can make third.
Is Billie Eilish a lesbian?
Who was third before? Yes.
Okay.
I actually forgot. I used to remember, and then I had this conversation with somebody before I left Ireland. We were talking about this.
Okay, well, this
But I
is...
think Billie Eilish might be bi, actually, now that
You're
we
right.
mention it. I
Yeah.
actually think she might.
I did not expect the show to go that way today with the top 3 list of my favorite lesbians. I thought my list of my favorite
Do
Bond
yourself
movies.
a favor, though, and listen to Chappelle Roan. She's really great.
Okay, well, before we do that, we're going to break off
Yes.
for a
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
Because, of course, now Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan have obviously tried to sing Last Christmas in their little special. I'm going to play it for Dori and Ryan. You can do yourself a favor and go pause now. Maybe you're listening on your iPhone, listening on your mobile device, and go into your music app and listen for Chappell Roan. I'm saying it right?
I think it's Chappell Roan.
Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan.
Chapel, yeah, I think it's Chapel.
Yeah.
And Sabrina Carpenter and their version of Last Christmas. We're going to disappear under this little jingle bells here while we listen to this song. Okay, so we're back. And I hope you've taken a listen. It sounds exactly how you think it'd sound. Ryan, thoughts?
I like it. I think it works.
Dori, thoughts?
I like it. Paulo, you clearly
Paulo's
don't like
not
it.
going to like it. You came into
clearly
this
don't like
with a
it.
negative connotation.
It's two lovely girls singing a great song. What's wrong?
Also,
It's not George Michael.
Yeah, well, of course it's not George Michael.
It's a cover.
I didn't even like Thomas Anders singing Last Christmas.
I know. So what? You just don't want anyone else singing it? Is that the thing? Can
So-
no one else sing it?
I like the way Sabrina Carpenter sings, but I don't like that. But of course, I'm outvoted.
Do you know what? Do you know what we should do?
What?
We should get Paulo. You know, every year Paulo puts out that special video.
That video, yes.
That video of the George Michael Last Christmas version of Paulo. What? How many years ago?
I'm not going to be pressurized on this.
You need to do a Sabrina Carpenter version and upload it to YouTube so we can see it in 20 years from today.
I can already tell from his face that the answer is hell no.
Well, my grandfather was a carpenter. So my grandfather was a carpenter and Sabrina Carpenter duet. Maybe we could do that. But no, I can't put up that Last Christmas video. That Last Christmas video, Dori, was done almost 20 years ago.
So, oh,
You know how disgustingly young I am.
I know. So what? What's the
trim.
problem? You've aged very well.
Yeah, but not when you compare that. I'm not putting that heat on myself.
Okay, well then I'm with Ryan. You need to redo, even if you
I
redo
think
to
you
the
need to
original
redo it.
Wham.
Yeah. You have to redo it.
So if I now do one of those comp things where I put my face over Chappell Roan's face, that could be something.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, well, so far.
I feel like it's cheating though.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, outvoted. I didn't expect the vote to go that way. So obviously you both
Did you think I
are
would hate
versions
it?
Because it's not George Michael.
Yeah, but you didn't realize that I love Chapel.
Okay.
I actually thought you would have been more a Sabrina fan.
I like the songs I've heard, but I love Chapel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know, but it's nice to hear something different. I mean, we've heard the classics, don't get me wrong.
And it
it's-
still sounds like the original. It's just pretty lady singing instead of pretty boy singing. That's all.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what to say.
Well, listen, if you don't listen to it now, it will be on that 80 Show SA Facebook page for an hour. Then I'm going to take it down.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Because then what I have to do is then put up the proper Last Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of the proper Last Christmas, I've got a Google alert on Wham, as we all do. And wow, there are so many articles. 10 things you didn't know about the filming of the Last Christmas video.
The thing is, I did though.
I know all these things. We know all
you know why?
these
Because they
things.
got that. There's a documentary on BBC about the making of Last Christmas and the
Yes.
video. So that's all the promotion. That's what Andrew Ridgeley's pushing big now.
Did you see there was one that was slightly interesting where they spoke to those two other guys
Interesting.
who were in the video, who were their friends?
Oh no.
So that was that was a different slant.
Okay.
So the one guy you see him in the video, he brings the firewood in.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's one of them.
He's the one that faithfully
farted.
Oh
He's the one that farted in the ski lift.
no! Tell me, I don't know this.
So you don't know everything about the filming of the video. So there's like an interview with him, and he just talks about how they were friends with George and Andrew, and they said, "Come, we're going to make a music video," and they were like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." And they said it was absolutely one of the most fun things they've ever done in their lives. Like great memories. Everyone was so drunk. This we know. We know that everyone was so drunk because they stupidly filled everyone's glass with wine. And then for continuity, the glasses had to be full.
At the same level.
So they had to keep filling them because everyone was drinking. So everyone was so trashed. So there's that whole thing about where they come, you see them all getting off the ski lift thing, the cable car, not ski lift, cable car.
Cable car, yeah.
And apparently that dude, I can't remember his name, and no, I can't remember his name. He apparently was farting in there. And everyone was just, horrified.
See, that's what I love.
A good fart wham story.
A good, wham and farts.
Fart whams.
Yeah.
Wham and farts. You can't. Okay, so now to cleanse my brain from the Sabrina Carpenter and Chappel Roan, my own, you two seem to be a big fan. I want to introduce you to the Whamster.
Okay.
Harry the Whamster.
Harry the Whamster.
Harry the Whamster. So, there is a supermarket chain in the Netherlands that have a running set of characters in all their ads. Okay. It's a family who have this hamster, Harry the hamster, and he's the key to all their ads, right? So this year they decide, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do Wham. We're going to do a Last Christmas homage.
Okay.
And they contact Andrew Ridgeley to say, listen, we want you in our ad. So Andrew Ridgeley is like, oh, I'm not so sure. I've got to,
I have sports cars.
I turned down that 80 show because I only like doing serious stuff. And they show him the kind of what they had done so far, and he's like, oh my God, I love it. I've got to be involved. So
oh wow.
This ad will go up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page, but I'm gonna kind of give you guys a scene for scene recreation what happens here, right? So we open up in a lovely family home in what is evidently the Netherlands. I assume the Netherlands, okay. And it is a family preparing to go on holiday. So they're packing up, it's Christmas, it's snowy outside, and they're preparing to go on holiday. Mom says, do you have everything, guys? And the little pet hamster, who is people love him. Remember how we used to love that little meerkat from the Vodacom ads?
Is this a real hamster or is it an
yes.
AI hamster?
No, it's definitely it's a CGI hamster.
So it's very
okay.
good
Yeah,
CGI hamster.
It's a great CGI hamster. And he's so cute. He's so excited because now the family, they're going on holiday.
He's got the house to himself.
Oh, no, he thinks he has
He thinks he's going with.
Yeah. So he's now watching the family and they're packing the car and he looks over to the TV and Last Christmas is playing on the TV.
Nice.
Okay. So he has this little daydream. Look at his beautiful, cute little hamster eyes. He starts dreaming and he places himself in the Last Christmas video. So there's the cars and there's little Harry the Whamster sitting in the car with the dad, because the dad is a manager of the supermarket chain in all the other ads. Okay. So if you're in the Netherlands, you know this family. Okay. Everyone knows who they are. So there he is. He's sitting in the front seat with his little hamster seatbelt.
Oh, look at that smile.
Look at his little hamster hat.
Smile.
Look at his little knitted beanie. And he looks over at the dad, who has got very 80s hair and a very nice little earring in one ear. The dad flashes a smile at him. They're so happy. They stop the car and they see all the other. Now, this is almost like a scene for scene recreation.
It's brilliant.
The Last Christmas video. He waves up at all the people, and there's Andrew Ridgeley with a bunch of other old people waving back at him. Okay.
Are they the people from the original video?
No, that would be
That would
fantastic.
be really incredible.
But, I mean, this is so far because in the original video, George Michael arrives and then waves at everyone. Andrew Ridgeley's there, but now everyone's obviously older. And then, this one lady is really liking Andrew Ridgeley, going, look, we're probably around about the same age, but you are way out of my league because you're Andrew Ridgeley and I'm this lady. And then, of course, there's little Harry the Whamster waving at everybody. And now we have the ski lift. We have this kind of recreation. They go to the house. They have the snowball fight. Little Harry's involved. He gets hit. He's making a snow angel with the daughter. And then now they go into the house and they're preparing the dinner. They're putting the tinsel.
Oh my God, that's the scene.
Then there's a playful scene of George. This is scene for scene of the Wham! Last Christmas video. Even to this point, crowded room, friends with tired eyes, as the dad glances over. Look at that, the blue steel look at the mom.
That's amazing. Oh, there's the brooch.
As she rubs the brooch. So far we have this beautiful, and little Harry's so happy because now he goes, this is what Christmas with this family is going to be like until record drop, needle drop, he's not going with.
Look at the change in his face.
And the family's left without him, and now he's just so sad. Look, do you see the little tear in his eye?
I did.
And then he walks in his little cage, and he's so sad. And he's like, oh no, the family's not taking me with, and I'm just here by myself. But the family hasn't left. They stop the car suddenly, like they've forgotten something. The mom comes in and says, of course you're coming with us, Harry. Picks him up, and she goes, is he making a little heart? Which he is. He's made a little heart with his hands. And the dad looks over and he says, you know he's a hamster, right? He says, yes. And off they go. There goes Harry the Whamster going with the family to enjoy his little last Christmas dream. Now that is just heartwarming as shit.
I love it.
That's great.
I can't even be cynical about it. It's too good.
That is Harry the Whamster. And now, Dori, there's been a little teaser ad that they were running ahead of this to kind of get people interested in the ad. And you're in a supermarket and a lady is going through the supermarket. And then a gentleman we kind of recognize walks up next to her.
That's a lovely tune. One of my Christmas favorites.
Hold on. That was Andrew Ridgeley in the Dutch supermarket. Which
That's
sounds like a
so
dirty
cool.
thing.
It does sound like a dirty thing. Dutch anything sounds dirty.
Add Dutch to anything. Add a Dutch Chappel Roan. So I'll post that video up.
That is so cool.
There is a side-by-side recreation of the Harry the Whamster video and the original video of Last Christmas. They've done it so well. The part that kills me is the dad's hair. When he just like looks over.
This is going on the page, right?
That 80 Show essay on Facebook.
Yeah.
Check that out. And hashtag Whamster. Get that trending.
Whamster.
I love Harry and I need him in my life.
The supermarket is called the Albert Heijn. Albert Heijn. Supermarket chain.
Okay, if you have that in your country, support them because they support Wham.
And if they are selling novelty little Whamsters, send us one.
Oh, that would be so
get
cute.
Novelty Whamster.
Get us a little cuddly Whamster. So, Ryan, your time on the show is limited.
Yes.
But we want to play a little 80s quiz with you before you go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Dori was talking about it as she walked in.
Yeah. She's
very proud
I have
of
an
it.
80s quiz, but an 80s Christmas quiz, and some of the questions are way too easy for me and Paulo.
Right.
Because you are a youngster.
So
They might not be too easy for you.
But you see, for me, it's more, is this like embarrassing or is it like...
No.
Oh, okay.
No, hopefully not. I really do think you will know some of these.
Okay, cool.
And if you don't, it's understandable. You are very young.
Yes.
You were not even a twinkle in your parents' eyes in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not even.
Not even. Not at all.
Let's start. So the first part is about 80s Christmas movies.
Yes.
Which 1988 action movie set during Christmas stars Bruce Willis as NYPD officer John McClane? I have options if you want. It's multiple choice. I can give you options.
Die Hard.
Oh,
You see, he didn't even need the options. He didn't even need it.
You know what? Let's give Ryan a 50-50 or phone a friend. Let's do it like that game.
Okay.
I wish I had some really dramatic game show music right
Ryan,
now.
Guess what? I do have it.
You do?
Let's see if you know this one. In the 1984 Christmas classic Gremlins, what is the name of the creature that starts the chaos?
Oh, do you want to take a 50-50 or will you phone
Or
a
I can
friend?
give you the options because it's multiple choice.
That's the 50-50.
There's 4 options.
Oh, but you got to give him 2. That's
see.
25. So
Okay.
that's catchy.
So I'll give you two options and you can choose
Okay.
between
You've
them.
got to hurry up. My dramatic music
Yes.
is going to do
Okay.
for itself.
It's running out.
Is it?
I can hear it. It's
Is
making me
it
panic.
Spike or Gizmo?
I'm going to go Gizmo.
Good guess.
Yes, well done.
That was
Well
a straight
done.
guess.
I'll put a little. There's a little cheer for Ryan. There's a little cheer for Ryan.
Okay. Let's get into some music questions. I mean, which 1984 Christmas song by Wham became an instant holiday classic?
Is that Jingle Bell? I'm kidding. Last
That one's
Christmas.
way too easy for all the people.
Yes.
Another easy one. Which 1987 hit single by Band Aid raised millions for famine relief and was recorded by multiple famous 1980s artists? Would you like some options?
Oh, yeah.
Phone a friend or 50-50.
I'm going to phone a friend.
Who will that friend be?
I'm going to bring Paulo in on this one.
Hello, Ryan. I believe that you're playing Dori's diabolical 80s quiz, and you have a question about what question is it? I was too busy looking
Dori,
for a
if you
phone.
could please ask the question. We have a producer with Paulo at the moment, and he's making sure that Paulo doesn't cheat. We're
Yes.
using straight from his knowledge.
Yes.
So, Dori, what is the question for Paulo?
The auditors from Ernst & Young are listening in.
The options are We Are the World or Do They Know It's Christmas?
Ryan, I think you should go with Do They Know It's Christmas?
That's your cue to say, Paulo, how sure are you?
Yeah. How sure are you, Paulo?
I'm 99% sure.
Not 1987.
Oh, nice one. Nice one.
All right, I'm going to go with
I'm
what Paulo said.
84% sure.
That's what Paulo said?
It is, of course, Do They Know It's Christmas?
Okay.
Of course.
Cheers for us, me
Okay.
and Ryan.
Something we discussed on the show last week. Which song did the iconic group The Pogues release in 1987, which has since become a beloved Christmas classic?
Oof.
He's already used his 50. What was the other one?
What?
So what was the other
He's
one
used
I
both
did?
of...
I used both my lifelines.
Was it? There
Ask
was
the
a
audience.
There was a Ask the Audience.
Oh,
Ask the
yeah.
audience.
Audience vote. Well, I'm also... Well, let's ask the audience.
Fine.
It works in a podcast. No one's listening.
Well, I'm
right?
the quiz master, so you can't ask me.
I'll be de facto audience.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the options?
Okay, give them to me. I mean, I know it, but give them to me. For the audience.
For the audience, the iconic song by the Pogues that has become a Christmas classic, Little Drummer Boy, Happy Christmas, Christmas in Killarney, or Fairy Tale of New York. Would you like to ask the audience?
So, Ryan, the audience vote says... Majority say it's Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues. That's what the audience says.
Is that what the audience... Okay.
That's what the audience
Do you
says.
trust the audience, right?
We went to an audience vote live on our post box.
Yes.
They sent the answers on a post box to SRUK 1789.
I do trust it because I was going to say Christmas in Killarney, you know. It's,
Yeah. But Killarney,
I'm gonna go with what the
Killarney's a
audience said.
shithole compared to Limerick.
Okay, so we're going with Fairy Tale of New York, which is, of course, the correct answer.
Okay, yay
Very
for the
clever
audience.
audience. Very clever audience. Which 1980s TV special based on a Dr. Seuss book is considered one of the most famous Christmas specials of all time?
or
Holy shit, what the hell is this one?
it's the Grinch.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah, well done.
You didn't even need the options. You are correct.
Jeez.
Because
Well done.
I watched it with my sister like 2 nights ago. She made me watch it.
So that's easy. In the 1980s, which toy became a must-have Christmas gift and caused massive shortages in stores? Now, Paulo's really into toys, so I'm going to give you the options. Okay? So this is the must-have Christmas
I
gift.
feel like we need a buzzer.
Star Wars action figures, Rubik's Cube, Teddy Ruxpin. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what a Teddy
That
Ruxpin is.
clearly can't be the
Or
answer.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
You're going to go...
Paulo, do you know the answer?
I do know the answer, and I'm in no way showing Ryan which one it is.
It can't be Cabbage Patch Kids. Really? Cabbage Patch Kids?
Correct. It is Cabbage Patch
Great
Kids.
guess, Ryan.
Over Star Wars.
You didn't
know-
help him at all.
No, but it's
No.
the year. Oh, it's 19?
They said in the
Oh.
1980s.
Yes, Star Wars was like a back end of 7. That's when that rush of Star Wars came, was the late 70s.
Because I would have thought Star Wars
I would have actually
broken.
guessed Rubik's Cube, I have to say. think
also
would have
was on
guessed
the fence
Rubik's
to that.
Cube. I don't know what Teddy Ruxpin is. So.
He was like a little talking teddy bear.
Oh,
He had
okay.
a TV show and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
He's in the Toy Museum of Fame, along with
Toy Museum.
a blanket.
I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's make it a good one.
I've looped this dramatic bed music
I know,
about 27
it's an impressive
times.
job.
Which popular Christmas sitcom was a huge hit in the 1980s, featuring a family that had to navigate holiday challenges together?
Sitcom.
This is very tricky, guys. Very tricky. I would not have guessed this answer, I have to tell you. The options are Full House, Family Ties, The Cosby Show, and Cheers. Okay.
I'm gonna
it's
go Full
not
House.
Cheers, because that's not about a family.
I'm going
It's
to Full
not
House.
Cheers. You're going to go with Full House?
Yeah.
Keep in mind I said 1980s.
Full House is from the 80s.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Of course, John Stamos. Okay. So let's go with Full House, Family Ties, or The Cosby Show. Now, this would have stumped me. And I'm a little bit suspicious about the answer. I have to say.
I wouldn't put any of those being about Christmas.
I know, unless
'Cause
they
they
did
all
like
had-
a Christmas special maybe that we've forgotten about.
Well, they all would have done Christmas specials.
Yeah. I don't know.
So what's the answer?
The answer, according to ChatGPT, thank you, our robotic overlords, is Family Ties.
Yeah.
I don't know, eh?
I don't know.
It's such a good quiz, but what a damn squib ending.
Oh, sorry, do you want another one to end with?
I got to be. No, well, my license for my dramatic
Yeah, no,
music has
music's
expired.
up.
I'm going to do one
Music's
bonus.
up.
We don't need music for it. One
Okay.
bonus question, which will be funnier, hopefully.
Okay.
In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation from 1989, what goes wrong with Clark Griswold's Christmas lights? Options. They don't turn on. They explode. They set the house on fire. They cover the entire neighborhood.
It's all four. It is.
Is it?
I have no idea.
You should watch this movie. You'd probably enjoy it.
What's it called?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Right. Okay.
According to this, the answer is they explode.
Well, it's on the cover of Chevy Chase plugging them in, but I think it does all four. Because they explode, then the house catches fire.
Does the
then-
whole house catch fire, though?
I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
think so.
Listen, a part of your house catching fire is already a problem.
It is.
Anyway, that is great. That is Dori's 80s quiz, and that is our time with Ryan.
Yes.
He is back off to Limerick. Young Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back in that 80 Show HQ. We're going to get in some movies. You're going to pick up the rest of the podcast.
Yes,
That 80 Show SA on Facebook for all the things that you're going to miss. And travel ye well, Ryan. And we're not going to stop the show at all to say goodbye to you and come back.
Bye.
Bye.
Always a treat. Young Ryan on that 80 Show, having a good time out there in Ireland. And it's that time of the week where we go to our movie recommendations. We know it's Christmas time, holiday time. People going, what should I watch? What should I watch? Dori, listen, teaser.
Okay.
So last week you did your recommendation of the Shooting or From the Hip podcast,
Yes.
where they were doing Shifty Records. I got a sneak preview of the next episode.
Ooh.
We said we know the guys at Solid Gold, we know Benji, we know Gavin Kennedy, the producer of that. And he sent me a little clip yesterday of what they're doing next. It's an episode you and I have always wanted to do.
I know what it is. They've done it. I can't wait.
We're not going to say too much, but if you are a fan of, we've been talking a lot about like Band-Aid, Live Aid, shit like that. If you're a fan of that and you were around in the 1980s,
In South Africa.
specifically in Johannesburg,
Specifically in the center of Johannesburg.
I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know if it's the next, but it's a sneak preview of what they got coming up next. So when it's out, Dori will no doubt be recommending
Hang
it.
on a second. When we had Benji on our show all those many moons ago, did we not perhaps mention this and give him this idea?
Listen, everyone's had every idea. It's just like who does it.
Yeah.
And because we've
He
spoken,
beat us to it.
when you spoke to Evoid, we spoke
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
We've spoken to so many other artists or had contact with so many other artists and producers and people who were there on the day and we've just never done it. Neil Johnson was another person we spoke
Yep.
to about it.
Yep.
Alex J was another person we spoke to about it. Well, I think I spoke to him about it. But anyway, so if you know, you know.
Yep. I'm
Dori-
so excited.
Dori, what is next on our watch list from your side?
I'm really phoning it in this week, but it's pretty cool because it's something very current that has given 3 wonderful nods
Right.
to the 80s. but you have to be clever to watch this.
Oh God, then it's out for me.
No. Actually, I lie. You don't have to be clever. But a lot of people didn't realize that this existed. Okay, so let me start at the beginning. There is a new series on Netflix called Pantheon, which is an animated sci-fi, very, very cool series.
I think I've seen the trailer for it, yes.
It's very cool. Season 1 is on Netflix.
Right.
As far as most people in the world know, there is no season 2. Because what happened was, season 2 was made, ready, and the show got cancelled and it was never put out. It did not exist.
Okay.
However, it does exist. Somebody leaked it online.
Right.
And now somebody has put it on YouTube. So you can get it various ways, but you can watch it on YouTube. So we finished season 1. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. Finishes on quite a cliffhanger. You're like, cool. Go into season 2. The first episode has 3 amazing 80s nods, which I just have to mention. They're so good. So without giving any spoilers, one of the main characters of the show is a teenage boy. And he is very clever and very important. But not everybody knows exactly who he is and what his role in the story is. So there's a scene where someone is complaining about how involved this kid is in stuff, even though because they don't understand how important he is.
Okay.
So they make reference to what is Doogie Howser doing running the show.
Right.
Okay. First 80s nod. I had to explain it to my child because I am a terrible parent and have not shown them Doogie Howser.
But you know what?
Terrible.
But you know what? It's fine. No. I love Doogie Howser.
Yeah. You can't watch it now though. It's dated horribly.
I'm sure. But I'm glad that I would rather there was no reference point than the reference point being when Disney Plus redid Doogie Howser. Because you know they redid it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. So I'd rather no reference than that reference.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, Disney redid it. Like we always say, every time we mention Doogie Howser, he invented the blogs. Every episode ended with him writing a little blog.
So true, yeah, exactly.
That was a little music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
On one of those very old computer, MS-DOS.
Yep, but it was a blog. It was a blog. It was
Absolutely.
a blog.
Yeah. Dear diary. And then there's a scene where Back to the Future gets a really cool mention. I can't actually explain too much of it because it will be a spoiler for the show. But let's just say that they say, no, the actual dialogue between Doc and Marty is this. So that was a nice little thing that they threw in. I know, I can't give too much away. The third one is the best. I don't know why Paulo's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me?
Carry on. Let's go with the third one.
The third one is one of the other characters. She goes to her friend's place and her friend has chickens.
Okay.
Live chickens. And they're collecting eggs from the chickens. And the friend keeps saying what the chickens' names are. One says, careful, that's Rose. She bites.
Oh, dear.
I thought this was Rose. No, that's Blanche. Oh, okay. That one's Dorothy. That one's Sophia. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So chickens named after the Golden Girls.
The chickens are named after the Golden
Which
Girls.
I think is absolutely epic. And now I want chickens to name them after the Golden Girls. I think that's brilliant.
Why I was laughing, you redeemed yourself with the last one because basically your review went, I'm going to review a show that nobody can watch and I'm going to give you a nod to the 80s that I can't tell you about.
You can watch it on YouTube.
It's like Secret Santa.
Yeah, very secret. Very
it's like
secret.
the most Secret Santa
I need to create
anywhere.
some mystery, man. Like, come on, there has to be some mystery.
I should have
you
put
can
some
watch
dramatic mystery music behind that.
You can watch it. Watch season 1 on Netflix, season 2 on YouTube, and watch out for those 80s nods. There might be more coming because I'm not finished the show.
Okay.
So there might be more to come.
Okay, you saved yourself with the chickens, which is normally,
Chickens was very cool.
It's normally, when in doubt, take the chicken out.
Mm-hmm.
I, as you know, been going around the world of shitty movies, and it's just being the season. I had to get a terrible movie. So bad, it's brilliant.
Can't wait.
Oh. Like the biggest actor is a guy called Dan Haggerty, he played I can't even remember the name now, But
Name's familiar.
he was in a show called Grizzly Adams.
Oh my God, I love that show.
Did you love? I didn't. Okay, so
I love that show. I should have been doing that show as my 80s movie.
The life and times
TV
of
series.
the life and times of Grizzly Adams.
Was that from the 70s though? I feel like it was from the 70s.
It could have been.
Because I was a young kid when I watched that.
Okay, so all right then. Okay, so you know him.
I do know him.
I know Grizzly Adams. I've heard like comments Grizzly Adams, but I can't say I've got any.
It was a great show when there was no much else on TV. It was such a great show.
Okay, so I've got no reference to their TV show, so that's cool. This movie is called Elves. They're not working for Santa anymore, which implies that at some point
it's a horror movie called Elves.
It's a horrible movie. It implies at some point they worked for Santa. These elves did not work for Santa.
Okay.
Okay. So we open up on this teenage girl, Kirsten, and her and her friends hate Christmas. They're in the woods and they're doing an anti-Christmas pagan ritual. 3 teenage girls.
Christmas and paganism are the same thing, but okay.
Okay, right.
Okay, I will try not to get too academic about it.
They're out in the woods and they're doing this ritual. But I don't really know what it involves, right? And at some point, Kristen cuts her hand on a candle. Okay, it's candles in a glass. It's not broken or anything.
No.
She just grabs it and then her hand cuts and her blood spoils onto the ground. Okay.
Right.
Now, this awakens a ancient demonic Christmas elf.
Okay. Makes perfect sense.
No, well, if that makes sense. So her blood
Being sarcastic.
has awoken a demonic Christmas elf who is a central figure. So where does this elf come from? Basically, what we found out is that Hitler's dream. Yeah.
Wow. I was not expecting to hear that.
Hitler's dream wasn't to create the perfect Aryan race. His dream was actually to create a race of half humans, half elf hybrids. Okay? And the only way he could do this was with the blood of the perfect Aryan, a virgin of perfect Aryan heritage, of which now Kirsten is. Right? So,
sure.
So go with me.
Trying.
Right? The elves are part of this like cult practiced by neo-Nazis. Hitler wanted to create these elves. I feel I have to re-explain this. Hitler didn't want to create perfect humans. He wanted to create half humans, half elves with virgins' blood. Okay, so you got that now. Okay.
I think.
Okay, so everyone's got to stay pure. So now Kirsten, this happens. She doesn't know she's awakened the elf. And she goes off to work at the mall. While she's at the mall, there is a mall Santa, and he's sitting there, and all the kids are coming to Santa and telling what they want for Christmas. And Kirsten goes, she's quite a sexy teenage girl. Okay, and being the 80s, she's 27, like a 16-year-old. And she's quite sexy, and she's got little skirts on. And she goes and sits on Santa's lap.
That's not creepy at all.
No, but then he feels her up.
Oh, that's typical.
No, it's typical, but why did she sit on his lap? You're not a child. It's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a little bit awkward.
Is this an old Santa? Or
he's a middle-aged Santa.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, this happened. She goes screaming, and the Santa gets fired. Remember, it's key. Santa gets fired now.
Okay.
Santa's fired. Kirsten then goes home, and we need a nude scene now.
Of course.
Okay. So I'm going to play the audio of this. You don't need your headphones. This is a scene of Kirsten she's in the shower, and then just watch what happens. But you'll be able to hear from the audio.
You pervert! I'm not a pervert. I like seeing a naked girl. I'm your fucking sister! Yeah, and you've got fucking big tits, and I'm gonna tell everybody I saw them. Get out of here! You're not
So, that little boy is her brother.
Okay, she does look 27 first.
She does look 27. Very nude. I mean, that's the YouTube clip, but the full clip is not cut off where it was cut off.
Yes.
And her brother spies on her.
And he's little.
He's little.
He's like 7, maybe?
And wearing little Ninja Turtle gym jams.
Oh. He's so much wrong with that scene. I don't even know where to start.
Now, a lot of what's wrong with it is the audio, so you may not have heard it clearly. I'm going to play it for you again, what the little brother said.
You pervert. I'm not a pervert. I like to see a naked girl. I'm your fucking sister. Yeah, and you've got fucking big tits, and I'm going to tell everybody I saw them. Get out of here. You're not
Okay, it was acceptable in the 80s.
I don't think it was, actually. I don't think so.
Okay. Dori, that's not even the worst of it.
Okay.
So,
Where did you find this movie? Don't say Plex.
Kirsten lives with her mother and her grandfather. Now, her grandfather has all these old books, right?
Of course he does.
He's in a wheelchair, and it's like all these books on the occult and things like that. That's because that's where she first finds the book about the anti-Christmas pagan spell. And once the grandfather finds out that she's taken the book, he just starts beating her. Just starts like hitting her in the face. Just like starts beating her. He's an absolute dick. He's in a wheelchair, right? So this is her family dynamic. She's got a little pervert brother. Her mother, we come to find, is the whole family's weird. The grandfather's just beaten her, and she got groped by a department store Santa. In this girl's life,
she's not having a good Christmas.
Ending Christmas is the last. I mean, no wonder she hates Christmas.
Yeah.
She goes back to work to find that Bear Grylls, Grizzly Adams has now been replaced as the department store Santa, because the other Santa, he gets killed. He gets fired. He gets fired, but then he also gets killed by the elf. Because this is the first murder by the elf. So he's...
Because the elf's on her side?
So he's drunk in the break room, can't believe he got fired.
Bad Santa, basically.
Elf appears and kills him by attacking his penis. His penis is involved, rips it off, eats it.
You have so many movies where people are attacked on their penis.
I actually do.
You do. This is a running theme.
It's quite Freudian, actually. I don't really want to think about it, to be honest with you. Now, at this point, I haven't shown you what the elf looks like.
No, I have an image in my head.
Is it that image? I'll put this up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page. Is that the image?
Not in the slightest. That looks like a total zombie.
What did you think it looked like?
An elf?
Like an
with
evil,
like
an
evil
evilish
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, that just looks like, I don't even know.
That is a human.
You know what that looks like?
A zombie.
It looks like Baba Kabouter grew up and got into fentanyl. That's what that looks like. I mean, the faces, it's like...
It's horrible.
It's like you went onto Temu to buy a Gollum mask and it got melted on the way to you. That's what that elf looks like.
Pretty
and in this
accurate.
one, he's wearing a Christmas hat, which he never... I don't think he wears a Christmas hat. Now, remember, this is not Santa's elf. This is Hitler's elf. Okay,
Let's be clear.
It's satanic Hitler's elf. So now this new Bear Grylls Santa in the mall, he's actually an ex-cop.
But it's okay.
He's actually a cop, so he's not a bad guy. He just got fired from the police force, had a drinking problem because bad relationship. So
Does he have a big beard?
Huge. He's like full-on Grizzly Adams. Full-on Grizzly Adams.
But Grizzly Adams' beard was brown.
Yeah, he's full-on Grizzly.
Oh,
full-on Grizzly.
Not a white Santa
No,
beard.
well, he wears the fake Santa beard.
Okay.
Which is just that's even more disturbing than the elf, because you got a fake beard on top of a big beard.
That's what I'm wondering. It doesn't sound like it would work.
So he then hears about, okay, this guy got killed, and now he speaks to Kirsten, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And then there's a shootout. These men show up at the mall when it's closed, trying to take out this new Santa. Plus, for some reason, Kirsten and all her friends are still at the mall at night. And Kirsten works at the mall. And then there's a shootout. They're trying to kill her. Okay? These men are...
no reason whatsoever.
No, they're neo-Nazis. They're the neo-Nazis. They're not trying to kill her. They're trying to kill Grizzly Adams, the two friends, but they want to capture her. Because remember, her blood.
Yes.
Elf. So he's like now fascinated. And he keeps finding this insignia somewhere. All over the place. And now he goes, this must be a thing. I'm a cop. I'm going to go figure out. He goes to the library. He finds books on the occult. And then he just conveniently, the book he picks is missing pages about the neo-Nazi satanic Adolf Hitler thing, right?
Right.
So he goes, well, you know what? Fortunately, I know a guy who knows a lot about neo-Nazi Satanists. And he goes...
It's the grandfather in the wheelchair.
You're very good at movies. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
He goes to this guy for an explanation.
I want to know the connection between the elves and the Nazis.
There are two schools of thought.
What are they?
One, the Nazis experimented with elves as assassination teams. Small, easily hidden, silent, vicious. They have magical powers. They can't be hurt or killed. They eat anything. They're a perfect soldier. The problem is, there's no such thing.
What else is there? Tell me some more.
Theory 2. The elves were a genetic engineering experiment. Now, I like this one better. It mixes science and the occult. The Nazis did have some clever scientists. This was before today's technology, of course. Each elf was to house the haploid gene structure in its sperm cells to produce the master race. Once again, magical powers can't be hurt or killed. Driven to select the genetically perfect human mate, the proverbial virgin, of course. Holy midnight consummation on Christmas Eve.
Wait a minute. Tonight, you mean...
The elf mates with the virgin on Christmas Eve to produce the master race, and it will eventually rule the world. But once again, the problem is there is no such thing, no elves. Honey, would you tell these kids not to be throwing things at each other? Now, your time is up.
How did these people learn these lines and deliver them with a straight face? How did somebody write these lines in all seriousness and go, here is a movie script? I'm amazed.
Right.
I'm speechless.
Okay, so not only is it Hitler's perfect race, but now he's got to get this. Alf has got to sleep with the Aryan virgin, the perfect bloodline Aryan virgin on Christmas Eve, of which, wait, but tonight's Christmas Eve, okay?
But elves don't exist.
No, he knows the elf exists.
Okay.
Grizzly Adams, he's seen the elf. He knows because he saw it in the mall, in the shootout. He saw it. So he knows the elf exists. So now we know Kirsten, but hold on a second. You are a virgin, but how do we know that you're a perfect Aryan bloodline virgin? Now we go back to the house. This house full of fucking little perverted brother in his Ninja Turtle jammies.
Mm-hmm.
The mom who's a bit weird till now, and the grandfather in the wheelchair. Let's see if we can deduce here. To keep the perfect bloodline, we've not seen a father.
Okay.
To produce the perfect bloodline, we deduce now, we find out at this point that the grandfather is a Nazi, but also that the grandfather is Kirsten's father.
I knew that was, I knew that's what you were going to say, and yet you still shock me when you say it.
Who had sex with Kirsten's mother, his daughter, to produce Kirsten and little pervert Ninja Turtle. Perverto. Okay. Yeah.
I'm literally speechless.
So she is now a perfect bloodline. There's been no one messing in the bloodline from the grandfather Nazi, right? Because we're in the 80s. The timeline works.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to keep Kirsten out the clutches of the elf.
Yep.
But of course, she's an idiot. She goes into the forest just before midnight. I'm just going to go for a walk in the forest.
By herself.
Elf attacks her. At this point, Grizzly Adams, Nazis show up in the house. He's fighting them off. One shoots him. He shoots one. We don't know who's dead. Kirsten's in the forest. Alf pops up. Alf wants to get it on because he's got demonic semen, as you heard there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He attacks her, looks in the eye, says, let's get it on, attacks her. She kind of like fights him off, fighting. It is the least threatening I've ever seen anything in my life. This elf is fucking tiny. He's like, that's the only elf thing about him. He's tiny.
So he's not like human sized at all.
No, he's like knee high. He's knee high with his little weenie. You don't see the little weenie, but I assume.
Yeah, I mean.
And he's trying to like, it's like, you know when you get a puppy and they just want to hump you?
Yeah.
It's like, this is what this whole scene looks like. She could kick it. She could stand on its head. Like, there is like...
She could throw it.
It is not threatening at all. It is as threatening as a puppy trying to hump you. Okay? But of course, this one's got Hitler's demon seed in it. I don't know if it's Hitler, but that sounds plausible. That sounds like a thing they do.
Totally plausible with this plotline.
Kirsten has a gun now. She never had a gun. There was no gun lying, but she has a gun, shoots the elf. Dead. Okay. Elf is dead. Midnight, goes past midnight. Thank God. Can't.
No elf Hitler demon race.
No.
Got it.
And to prevent it next year, like I don't want to lose your virginity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like, because next year is to save me from...
But with someone outside the family, please, considering that clearly the grandfather and the brother are probably like interested.
Yeah, the brother's there going, hey, Perverto, the Ninja Turtle, he's like, let's, no. So next year, to save her from tears, let's do it with someone unrelated. Right. Movie ends, happy, midnight has passed, but in the closing credits, guess what we see? A shot of a little demon fetus gurgling. So did he get his little seed inside her? Do elves, are there penises in their fingers and they impregnate you through grabbing your knees? We don't know.
Was there a sequel?
No.
Oh, thank God.
But it's not too late. It's been set up. There could be. So that is the movie Elves.
I think you've outdone yourself this week. I really do.
It's a Christmas treat. Not to be confused with the movie Elf. Now,
Yes,
don't hire
very
that by
much-
mistake.
very much
Don't be sitting,
different.
we're going to watch a lovely family movie starring Will Ferrell as an elf and put on this and goes, when the fuck is the guy from Anchorman going to show up? This is disgusting. What is going on? Is that Zach Galifianakis? No. So don't confuse your family with that.
Mm-hmm.
Elves, of which there's only one elf. So
Yeah. Why is it called Elves?
you only ever see one elf. And that is my movie. So well done to me. Merry
Well done
Christmas
to you.
all. And to all a good night.
And to all a happy demonic,
Oh,
I don't know. Oh my God.
that is quite nuts.
I literally feel a bit traumatized.
It is weird, eh?
Yeah.
That is my
I mean, it had all the things that make you go, ugh.
I know. The little brother.
Ugh.
Jeez. Do you want to
Grandfather. Ugh.
hear that again?
Pervert? I'm not a pervert. I like seeing naked girls. I'm your fucking sister. Yeah, and you've got fucking big tits, and I'm going to tell everybody I saw them.
Again, I'm going to go back to the writer of the screenplay.
Somebody made money. Not a lot.
He had some issues. I think he needed to sort out with a professional.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah.
Loads.
Wow.
Let's cleanse the timeline
Jeez.
with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, thank God.
So, wrapping up the show, we spoke a few weeks ago about Dolph Lundgren had a cancer, not a scare, pretty serious cancer diagnosis. He was given 2 to 3 years to live, and he's been given the all clear.
Wow.
Yeah. In absolute remission, says it's been a rough life, a rough ride. But it taught him how to live in the moment and enjoy every moment of life. So that's fantastic news from Dolph Lundgren. I mean, I don't know what I'd do in a world without his nipples. And then weddings are always awkward. Who's paying for what? Who's saying the speech? But a wedding announcement popped up this week that is made completely in the 80s. How's this combo? Because there was a super 80s combo of, who was it? Kurt Cobain's daughter is married to Tony Hawk's son.
Yes.
That's the super 90s. They've had a baby, probably the most 90s baby ever. John Bon Jovi's son is married to Millie Bobby Brown
Right.
from Stranger Things. That's relatively 80s adjacent. Which
There
is
was, and I don't know if they're still together, but there was, Miley Cyrus was dating Arnold Schwarzenegger's son at some point.
that could be a thing.
I don't know if they're still together, though.
So that's Billy Ray Cyrus, Arnie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an interesting
that
combo.
would be cool.
Eddie Murphy's son is engaged to Martin Lawrence's daughter.
Oh, no way. That's so cool.
So they announced their engagement a week or so ago. Very, very lovely engagement. And ever since they've been dating, of course, people are like, we got to see the movie. We got to see because of course, Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy were in the 90s movie Life. I don't know if you ever saw that, of the two hustlers end up in prison, life imprisonment, and it goes through them from it kind of in their 30s through to old men.
Yes, I did see that.
And then they just became very good friends. Of course, they bonded over, hey, your dad's a famous comedian. Your dad's one of the biggest comedians of the 80s. My dad's one of the biggest comedians of the 90s. We seen some shit. Martin Lawrence was, when they first started dating, is on the Jimmy Kimmel show. And he said that if they do have a child, it's going to be a comedy super baby. And when asked about the future wedding, he said, I'm going to try get Eddie Murphy to pay for it. Because obviously Eddie Murphy is got bank. And Eddie Murphy's response is, fuck no. He's got to pay off. My daughter, so his other daughter, at the time, Eddie Murphy's other daughter had just got married. He said, I had to pay for the whole thing. So now it's your turn to pay for this one. Imagine the speech at that wedding. The father's speeches. Like, make that a Netflix special.
Absolutely.
Sell the Netflix special to that family is like
just
wedding
to be
speeches.
Invited to that wedding would be so fun.
Oh my word, can you imagine? I mean, Diddy and Jay-Z aren't going to get invited anymore, so there's space. No one's inviting Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know, there's got to be space. So that's a comedy super baby. That's another nice. I mean, Martin Lawrence started out in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think his sitcom Martin started in 88, 89. So that's a good
We'll take
80s
it.
link.
We'll count it.
Yeah, so does that cleanse the timeline after cleansing the bloodline of...
Yeah, you almost made me forget. Thank you.
Yeah. So not too much to sleep on there, but that is the... Look at that elf. Look at him. He's so disgusting.
Stop it.
It was a treat having young Ryan in, hey?
It was.
That was a last minute thing. We're having breakfast and I said, what are you doing? I said, come be on that 80 show. That's always fun on that 80 show.
It is. Except for when it's traumatic. He left just in time.
Just in time. So, look, to be honest with you, I don't know what we're doing with shows over the next couple of weeks. We actually, this is me and Dori doing our admin live on the show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, are we doing a show next week?
Because
it's
the
very
timings,
close to Christmas.
I'm on holiday, then Christmas and New Year's falls in the middle of the week. Is it worth posting? If you want us to do a show, let us know. But keep an eye on that 80 show on Facebook, or subscribe to this podcast.
Maybe we can do some like what bonus content
that
we can just like throw together online.
It's not a full show
somehow.
But yeah, we don't know. As we figure out, we'll post it up on that 80 Show SA on Facebook page. But we will be posting stuff on that 80 Show SA on Facebook.
We can get an AI to read our WhatsApp messages from
Oh yeah, to each other.
They're pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's going to call us Eddie. So Eddie and Eddie spoke about this. Oh, there's that one AI that makes podcasts. Have you seen that? Yeah. Maybe we could do one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep an eye on that 80 Show SA Facebook page, or subscribe to this podcast. To whatever we do, you're going to see. Right? And we wish you a Merry Christmas and to all a good night. If we don't speak to you again,
don't forget to listen to Last Christmas.
But you got to remember, for every other Christmas song you play,
the original.
You got to. Do you think the pudding mix fudges the numbers?
Don't know.
Anyway, thanks for joining me, Dori. Great quiz. Great quiz.
Great quiz. Grizzly.
Yes.
Grizzly Adams.
Quizzly Adams.
You brought it back. You brought it back to the trauma.
Goodbye.
Bye.